Culture and innovation is in the spotlight today. New this morning, thousands of dollars is being granted to local organizations for agricultural related projects. WGEM's Austin Johnson joins us live in the studio this morning and shows us who is benefiting from the money. Austin?
Well, hey there. Happy Tuesday and good morning to you. 7 organizations from West Central Illinois to Northeast Missouri are being awarded a total amount of $30,000. The community foundation that serves these areas says the money will go to funding ag programs or initiatives that the organizations want to tackle. The money awarded comes from the AgForward grant program, which has a focus on organizations that are spreading innovation through agriculture, and a spokeswoman with the foundation says this program is not only investing in schools, but also in the livelihood of some parts of the tri-state area.
Bigger picture is that every grant is a vote of confidence in the future of agriculture in our community. So whether that's in the educators themselves and the programs themselves or the students, it's going to strengthen agriculture for years to come that will, it'll outlast all of us.
Now, the Adams County Farm Bureau is just one of the 7 organizations being recognized. It will use those funds to purchase 2 pedal tractors for ag in the classroom. But this is kind of a big deal. As you know, farming and agriculture is a major component of our daily lives here in the tri-state area. But the Community Foundation says the program has an ultimate goal of strengthening hands-on learning, everything from classroom programs to new equipment and career path projects. Dylan.
Austin, thank you. And the foundation says the grants would not be possible without the Bob W. Richter Endowment for Agricultural Education.